Hey, hello, I'm Tunesy. If you couldn't tell by the channel name, of course. Oh my goodness, guys, we're on day freaking 38. Can y'all freaking believe that? In literally 2 more days. Are you serious? Both of them have to be eating at the same time while I'm making this video. You guys probably don't hear it, but my two freaking pets are munching really loud on their food. Anyways, 2 more days until freaking day 40. That's freaking crazy, guys. And then it'll be 10 days left of this series. After this series, like I said, oh boy, believe me, I won't be back till maybe the middle of November. I don't know. Because I do have to come back before December for my predictions. Um, and yeah. Um, Today's state is Pennsylvania. I did have a friend from Pennsylvania. Uh, uh that friend did not end up in the good terms. um, Anyways, I surprisingly spelled Pennsylvania on my calendar perfectly correct. I don't know how I did that. I'm just a spelling bee master. What can I say? I was like I think I like did spelling bee in middle school, and I was like one of the last top 5. I'm just that good. What can I say? Anyways, yeah. Today's song of the day is Big City Blues by Lil Peep. I know we've been getting a lot of Lil Peep. I was gonna change it, but this one's one of my favorite Lil Peep songs. Like I love this song so much by Lil Peep. The genre is emo rap. And yeah, um, this one's a short one today. I think most of them are short. The rest of these ones, until day 50, are gonna be short ones. Day 50 is kind of be a long one. It's a more well known one. Most interesting for last. I guess I should say, even though it's an alphabetical. Blah, 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 you guys know what I mean. But yeah, let's get freaking started. Again, freaking rephrasing myself. Today's state is Pennsylvania. Um, Today's crime scene, or yeah, true crime, is about the 1982 Wilkes-Barre shooting. By the way, I didn't mention. Um, I probably will be live streaming maybe a bit during my break, maybe like once or twice. I'm not exactly sure. Probably be busy. I probably want to focus on school more. Um, Throughout those weeks, I'm taking a break because things are coming up. And yeah. Anyways, on the night of September 24th, 1982, George Emil Banks, a former Camp Hill prison guard, drank a large quantity of gin and took prescription drugs at his home on Schoolhouse Lane in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. The next morning, on September 25th, 1982, he used an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle to kill 8 people in his house, including 3 women in their 20s and 5 children, 4 of them his. 2 of the women were sisters. Banks dressed in military fatigues and went outside, where he saw Jimmy Olsen and Ray Hall Jr. leaving a house across the street. He shot them both, reportedly yelling that they would not tell anyone about this. Before firing, he hit both men, fatally wounding Hall. Olsen survived. Banks drove away. Banks went to Heather Highlands Mobile Home Park, where his former girlfriend, Sharon Mazzillo, and their son, Kisamayu, lived, of whom he had been trying to gain custody. Banks forced his way in and shot Mazzillo. He then shot and killed his sleeping son. Banks killed Sharon's mother, who was trying to call the police, and Sharon's nephew, who was also in the home. Sharon was shot in the heart, and the other 3 were shot in the head, with the bullet going up the nasal passage of Sharon's mother, causing her head to explode and her brain to splatter the room. Sharon's brother, whom Banks did not see, hid in the closet. He was the only survivor. He called the police and identified Banks as the shooter. When police examined the victims at the mobile home park, they connected the incident to Olsen and Hall's shooting. They next found Banks' victims in his house. Police began to search for Banks, who abandoned his car and carjacked another vehicle. After abandoning the stolen vehicle, Banks stopped in an isolated grassy area to rest and subsequently fell asleep. After Banks awoke, he visited his mother's house. He was said to have confessed his crimes to her. She drove him to the house of Jacob Witt, a friend of Banks, where he sent her away and prepared for a standoff with the police. A standoff between Banks and the police began. The police brought his mother to their base to talk with Banks. They tried various tactics to get the murderer to surrender, including having a false news report played over Wilk radio, saying that the children were alive and needed blood to survive. The police tried other tactics to draw Banks out of the house. Finally, Robert Brunson, a former co-worker of Banks, was able to talk him out after a 4-hour standoff. On September 30th, 1982, Banks was charged with 8 counts of murder, attempted murder, aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, grand theft auto, armed robbery, and felonious theft. Banks was held without bail. On June 6, 1983, Banks' trial began at the Luzerne County Courthouse in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Albert Joseph Flora Jr. was appointed to his defense attorney. Banks insisted on testifying. He said that he had only wounded some of the victims, and police had killed them. Several scene witnesses, Banks' family members, and Olson testified. Olson identified Banks as the person who shot him and left him for dead. Closing arguments took place on June 21st, 1983. Banks' attorney argued that he was insane, but the jury found Banks guilty of 12 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of third-degree murder, attempted murder, aggravated assault, and 1 count each of robbery, theft, and endangering the life of another person. On June 22nd, 1983, the jury recommended the death penalty. Banks was incarcerated in the maximum security unit at Huntington until November 1985. His appeals reached the U.S. Supreme Court, but it refused to overturn his verdict. He was then sent to the correctional institution at Greater Ford, where he was housed in a contained housing unit. From 1987 to 2000, Banks' attorney continued to appeal his case. The U.S. Supreme Court refused to hear his attorney's argument that he lacked the mental competency to be executed. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Ridge twice signed a death warrant for Banks. However, both times federal appellate courts have stayed his execution. In 2001, 2006, and 2008, the court held hearings about the mental state of Banks to determine if he could be executed. He exhibited delusional behavior that caused the court to rule him inconvenient for execution. During this period, various appeals were being heard by state and federal courts. In 2010, another hearing was held on his competency. His attorney said his mental state had deteriorated significantly since 1982. A judge ruled that Banks was mentally inconvenient for execution, or to assist his attorneys in seeking clemency. He would continue to be held in a restricted housing unit at Greater Ford Prison. In September 2017, he was still on death row in Pennsylvania. He was later transferred to SCI Phoenix in May 2018. That's the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad they caught the guy. I don't understand why he killed his family. Um, I'm guessing it was because of insanity and the reasons they claimed on why. I don't think it gave exactly a brief description on why. I mean, yeah, he was drunk, but that was the day before he did it. So I don't really understand what happened between the night before that and the morning of the murders. I don't understand. I knew he took drugs and everything, but that was prescription. So I don't know. Anyways, that's the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for freaking watching. Tomorrow's day 39. Or should I say 67? There's no 67 states. That's kind of sad. Anyways, yeah. I'm done talking. I think I'm losing my voice. I think I jinxed it and I think I am getting sick. I ate zombie talkies again earlier. So I keep having to freaking crash out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I don't want to talk anymore. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.